I find so much joy in watching these bloom every year. They just make the whole yard feel alive.
You bought your black-eyed Susans expecting a sea of golden yellow petals all summer long, but right now, all you're looking at is a clump of lush green leaves, with not a single flower in sight. It is one of the most frustrating things in gardening, especially because these native prairie powerhouses are supposed to be almost bulletproof. When a plant that thrives in dry ditches refuses to bloom in your garden, it usually means something subtle is throwing off its natural cycle. The good news is, your plants aren't broken. Today, we're walking through the 7 exact fixes that will snap your black-eyed Susans out of leaf production mode and get those heavy, vibrant blooms back where they belong. Black-eyed Susans, or Rudbeckia, have a well-earned reputation as some of the toughest perennials and biennials you can grow. They tolerate summer heat, handle dry spells, and shrug off garden conditions that would make other flowers wilt in a day. Because they're so tough, it's easy to assume you can just plant them and forget them. When they stall out and refuse to produce floral buds, it almost always comes down to a small imbalance in their growing environment. A few small adjustments to their light, soil, or pruning schedule can flip that switch almost overnight. Let's look at why your plants are holding back and how you can get them loaded with flowers this season. Before we dive into the first fix, if you love straightforward, practical gardening tips that help your yard thrive without the guesswork, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, drop a quick comment below, letting me know what growing zone you're in, and whether your black-eyed Susans are completely bloomless, or just giving you small, weak flowers. I read through your comments to help dial in future troubleshooting guides for your specific area. To understand why your black-eyed Susans aren't blooming, you first need to understand where they come from. These plants are native to open North American prairies and meadows. In their wild habitat, they endure intense, unbroken sunshine, competition from surrounding grasses, and lean, well-draining soils. Every cellular cue that tells a Rudbeckia to stop growing leaves and start pushing flower buds relies on specific environmental triggers. When those conditions are met, the plant allocates energy away from foliage and directly into heavy bloom production. When any of these critical signals get blocked, whether through excess shade, improper feeding, or root congestion, the plant gets stuck in a vegetative loop. It produces plenty of foliage to sustain itself, but never triggers the hormonal shift required to set buds. Once you identify and correct the specific roadblock in your garden bed, your plant will naturally redirect its energy toward flowering. The very first place you should look is sunlight, because insufficient light is the single most common reason black-eyed Susans refuse to bloom. As prairie natives, these plants crave full sun. To initiate flower buds, they require a minimum of 6 to 8 hours of direct, unfiltered sunlight every single day. When they receive less than that, their growth habits change completely. Instead of staying compact and focusing their energy on blooms, the plant stretches toward the nearest light source. You'll often notice the stems becoming unusually tall, thin, and floppy. While the leaves might look rich and green, the plant simply lacks the photosynthetic energy required to generate blossoms. Keep in mind that garden conditions change over time. A spot that was completely sunny 3 years ago might now sit in partial shade because a nearby tree grew, or a neighboring shrub filled out. To fix this, spend a clear day tracking the actual sun patterns over your planting bed. If your black-eyed Susans get less than 6 hours of direct light, you have 2 options. You can prune back overhanging tree branches to let the sunlight in, or plan to transplant your clump to a brighter, open location in your yard, either in early spring or early fall. Once your plant gets the intense light it needs, it will quickly shift into flowering mode. But light isn't the only environmental cue that controls flower development. What you feed them matters just as much. That brings us to fix number 2, fertilizer balance. A lot of gardeners see a struggling plant and immediately reach for a general-purpose fertilizer. With black-eyed Susans, that instinct can actually backfire and completely shut down blooming. These plants evolved in lean, natural prairie soils with low nutrient levels. When you feed them standard lawn or garden fertilizers that are high in nitrogen, You send the plant a chemical signal to produce vegetative growth. Nitrogen fuels leaf and stem development. When there is too much available in the soil, the plant directs all its energy into creating a huge, dark green mound of foliage. It looks incredibly healthy on the surface, but the root system feels no pressure to reproduce, so floral buds never form. If your plant looks like an oversized green bush with zero flowers, excess nitrogen is almost certainly the culprit. This often happens by accident if your garden bed is right next to a lawn that gets regular chemical fertilization. Runoff from turf treatments delivers heavy doses of nitrogen right to your flower beds. The fix is straightforward. First, stop all high nitrogen feeding immediately. If you want to give your plants an extra boost, switch to a balanced, slow-release organic fertilizer with a higher middle number, which represents phosphorus. Phosphorus is the key mineral responsible for root strength and heavy flower initiation. A light application of bone meal or a bloom-boosting organic formula, worked gently around the drip line in early summer, is all they need. Once nutrient levels are balanced, the next critical element you must manage is the water beneath their roots. Fix number 3 comes down to watering balance, specifically moving away from shallow, daily sprinkling and shifting to deep, infrequent soaks. Because black-eyed Susans are known to be drought-tolerant once established, it's easy to misunderstand how moisture affects their blooming cycle. During a severe, prolonged dry spell, the plant enters self-preservation mode. When soil moisture drops too low for too long, the plant shuts down flower development entirely to conserve hydration for its taproots, leaving your foliage limp and your stems devoid of buds. On the other end of the spectrum, soggy, poorly drained soil is just as destructive. If your Rudbeckia sits in heavy clay that stays constantly waterlogged, oxygen cannot reach the root zone. Weakened, suffocating roots cannot draw up the micronutrients needed to fuel flower spikes, often leading to stunted growth, yellowing lower leaves, or even root rot. The solution is to mimic prairie moisture patterns. Give your plants about 1 inch of water per week, delivering it all in 1 or 2 deep soakings rather than giving them a light misting every evening. Deep watering forces the root system to reach far down into the subsoil, creating a resilient network capable of supporting dozens of flower stems, even in the peak heat of midsummer. Always water directly at the base of the plant rather than spraying the foliage from above. Keeping the leaves dry not only prevents wasted water through evaporation, but it also protects your plants from fungal issues that can destroy developing buds before they even open. If this guide is helping you troubleshoot your flower beds so far, go ahead and hit that like button. It tells YouTube this is practical gardening advice worth sharing with other homeowners struggling with stubborn perennials. Be sure to save this video to your gardening playlist too, so you can easily reference these troubleshooting steps when you're out working in the yard later this season. Now, let's get right into the hands-on maintenance steps that keep flowers coming all summer long. That brings us to fix number 4, strategic deadheading and pruning. A lot of gardeners let old, spent flowers sit on the stem until the entire clump looks brown and tired. The biological goal of any flowering plant is not to look beautiful in your landscape. It is to produce viable seed to ensure the survival of the next generation. Once a black-eyed Susan blossom fades and the dark central cone begins to mature, the plant stops sending energy toward creating new floral buds. Instead, it directs almost all its sugar and nutrient reserves into ripening those seeds. When that happens, your mid to late season bloom cycle comes to a sudden halt. To trigger continuous waves of fresh flowers from early summer straight through autumn, you need to intervene with regular deadheading. Don't just pull the dead brown petals off the central cone. You need to remove the stem correctly. Take a clean, sharp pair of hand pruners and follow the spent flower stalk down to the next lateral shoot, leaf node, or hidden secondary bud. Make a clean cut just above that junction. By removing the developing seed head, you instantly tell the plant its reproductive job isn't finished yet. Within a week or 2, those lower secondary shoots will push out fresh, brand new flower stalks. Keep up with this simple pruning routine every week or 2 during the peak growing season, and you will extend your bloom display by well over a month. But if your plant is several years old and refuses to push fresh growth no matter how well you prune it, you might be dealing with an issue hidden beneath the soil. Fix number 5 is root congestion and crown division. If your black-eyed Susans produce spectacular blooms for their first 2 or 3 years in your garden, but have suddenly become weak, crowded, and bare in the center, root congestion is almost certainly the cause. Perennial varieties like Rudbeckia fulgida spread outward through underground rhizomes. Over time, the center of the clump becomes an impenetrable, woody mass of old roots that starves the surrounding soil of moisture, oxygen, and nutrients. When the root system becomes choked and overcrowded, the plant simply lacks the vigor needed to sustain large, healthy blooms. You end up with a broad patch of thin leaves and very few flowers. The fix is simple. You need to divide your clump every 3 to 4 years. The ideal time to divide black-eyed Susans is early spring, just as the fresh green growth begins to poke out of the soil, or early fall, after the main summer heat has passed. To do this, use a sharp spade to dig up the entire root ball, staying a few inches outside the perimeter to protect the root system. Lift the clump out of the ground, and use your spade or a clean garden knife to slice the root mass into 3 or 4 smaller sections. Make sure each divided section has a healthy cluster of roots and at least 3 to 5 vigorous growth shoots. Discard the woody, dead center, and replant the vigorous outer sections into fresh, well-drained soil at the exact same depth they were growing before. Water them deeply to settle the soil. Dividing not only instantly rejuvenates the mother plant and restores heavy blooming, but it also gives you free, healthy plants to fill in other bare spots in your yard. However, before you assume your plant is overcrowded or struggling, there's an important biological factor you need to verify about the exact variety you're growing. Fix number 6 is a simple variety and maturity check. Sometimes, a lack of blooms isn't caused by a mistake you made in the garden. It's just the natural life cycle of the specific Rudbeckia species you planted. Many gardeners are surprised to learn that not all black-eyed Susans are standard long-lived perennials. The popular Rudbeckia hirta, often sold in nursery packs with huge, dramatic petals, is botanically an annual or a short-lived biennial. If you started Rudbeckia hirta or a biennial like Rudbeckia triloba from seed in the spring, the plant will spend its entire first season building a strong vegetative root system and a low rosette of fuzzy leaves. It is completely normal for these first-year plants not to produce a single flower stalk. They are simply storing up energy to survive the winter and explode with a massive flush of blossoms in their second year. Check your plant tag or nursery receipt to confirm whether you have a true perennial like Rudbeckia fulgida goldsturm or a biennial variety. If you have a first-year biennial, be patient. Give it basic water, full sun, and let it build its root structure. Next summer, that quiet green rosette will reward you with dozens of blooms. If your plant is already mature, established, and fully exposed to the sun, there is one last hidden obstacle that can sabotage your flowers before you even get to see them. Fix number 7 is identifying and stopping fungal or pest interference. Even if your plant has the right sun and soil, hidden damage can destroy flower buds before they ever get the chance to open. The biggest fungal enemy of black-eyed Susans is powdery mildew, alongside leaf spot diseases like septoria. When foliage becomes coated in gray fungal dust or dense dark spots, the leaves lose their ability to photosynthesize efficiently. That sudden energy drop frequently causes the plant to abort its tiny developing flower buds to survive. At the same time, pests like aphids or four-lined plant bugs love to feed on the tender, nutrient-rich tips of new growth where flower buds form. Their feeding damages the embryonic petals, causing the buds to turn brown, shrivel, and drop off unnoticed. To fix this, start with spacing and airflow. Never crowd black-eyed Susans against walls or dense shrubs. Thin out overlapping stems in early summer to ensure breezy circulation throughout the foliage. If you notice fungal spots or heavy mildew developing, prune away the worst affected lower leaves immediately and dispose of them in the trash. Never in your compost pile. For persistent pest pressure on new shoots, A direct spray with a standard garden hose or an application of organic insecticidal soap will knock them back without harming beneficial pollinators. With those 7 core fixes covered, there are a couple of extra professional tricks you can use to set your plants up for even bigger displays year after year. Here are 2 bonus tips to keep your black-eyed Susans thriving long-term. First, watch how you mulch around the root crown. While a 2-inch layer of natural wood mulch helps retain moisture and regulate soil temperature, burying the actual crown of a black-eyed Susan can lead to fungal rot. Always leave a 2 to 3-inch clear gap around the base of the stems, so air reaches the soil surface. Second, leave your final late-season seed heads intact throughout the winter. While deadheading during summer keeps blooms coming, letting the autumn seed cones dry out provides crucial winter food for native goldfinches. As an added benefit, leaving the dead stems standing shelters the plant's crown from severe winter frost heave. In late winter or very early spring, you can simply cut all the old growth back to ground level, right before the new green shoots emerge. To wrap things up, getting your black-eyed Susans back into heavy bloom doesn't take complicated chemical treatments or hours of work. Start with a simple sunlight check to ensure they're getting at least 6 full hours of direct sun. Cut out any excess nitrogen fertilizers, switch to deep, infrequent watering at the base, and keep up with deadheading spent flowers throughout the summer. If your clump is older than 3 years, divide it, and always make sure good airflow keeps pests and fungal leaf spots from stealing energy from your flower buds. Take a quick look at your plants today, apply the right fix, and enjoy a rich blanket of golden color right through the end of the season. If you found this guide helpful, hit that thumbs up and subscribe for more easy, practical gardening guides every single week. If you're looking to troubleshoot other common perennials in your garden, check out the video on screen right now for more step-by-step plant care fixes. Thanks for watching and happy gardening!